What's cracking, people? Angelic Mayhem here. Welcome to this episode of Never Played, the video series where I take you through the basics of a new video game title that I've never played before. Today, I've got a copy of Eador, Masters of the Broken World. This is a non-linear, turn-based strategy game for the PC. If you played the first game, subtitled Genesis, you will recognize the interface and game mechanics immediately. This game is published by Snowbird Games and was released on Steam and GOG.com 4 days ago. This game is very unique, and as you explore, your decisions change certain events and future options based on your karma. In the game, you begin as a lowly peasant who dreams of ascending to greatness, where you are found in your village by a mysterious mage who offers to get you on your way to glory. You must travel from province to province, taming the inhabitants who live there, and either gently offering friendship and integration, or demanding their allegiance under pain of death. This game is actually 2 games in one. It's a turn-based warfare game where you must outmaneuver and overpower your enemies, yet also a nation builder where you have to set up the infrastructure that will support your army and your castle through construction and administration. You might think that such a game would be quite complex, but the interface and game mechanics make it easy to handle the chores associated with success. Oh, and you have to lash together space rocks. I forgot about the space rocks part. Yeah, the whole thing is set on the shattered remains of a past planet, and now you have to yank the floating shards out of the great nothing, conquering them one by one as you go along. Yeah, this game is crazy cool. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the settings. As you can see, the first one is sound, and that's all pretty much standard stuff. Now we go into the video. I've got mine set for 1280 by 720, which is what we broadcast at on YouTube. And I have dumped down, in order to accommodate the fact that I am recording this, I've dumped down the quality of the graphics. This game, as unbelievable as it sounds, because normally strategy games aren't like this game is actually very graphic intensive. Now that's not a bad thing if you were not recording, so sadly I had to dump down some of the good textures, but this game does look really good when you are playing just, you know, a regular game and you have all this turned up. Shader quality, that's your textures. When you get over here with water, as you actually pass over water, you will be able to see your own reflection in it. And anti-aliasing just takes off the, you know, any jagged edges, it smooths them out and makes it look very realistic. Under the gameplay here, you actually have the opportunity to allow the game to level you automatically as opposed to you doing each individual thing. I left both of these on never. This is auto combat, which just means that during the course of combat, you can actually allow the computer to play out your combat turn for you in the way that it sees fit. Your interface, this is just the various messages that pop up. You can turn them off or on. Your messages, this is just for important things that happen during the course of the game. Controls, I'm not entirely sure why keyboard has a sensitivity button, but there you go. And combat settings allows you to specify specific things. This is mostly for the multiplayer, but some of it does, you know, involve. Now, combat speed is something that the characters will physically walk around the board, and as they're doing so, you can actually speed them up. When you begin the game, I would highly encourage everyone to speed this up, because when you begin the game, the default setting is somewhere down here. And that means that everybody's kind of walking into battle. Everybody lumbers over to where they have to go. Having it up here is actually a lot better. It moves things along. And since I want this video to be as short as possible, we'll jack up the speed. Battlefield grid is the physical grid. When you see the battlefield, you'll know what that is. You can actually turn that off. Auto end turn, I am actually going to leave that off for now. However, I do recommend that you play with that. Basically what happens is after you move all of your units, it will automatically end the turn as opposed to you having to hit the button in the bottom right hand corner. Alright, so I'm going to save all that and I'm going to go into campaign and I'm going to continue the game that I've been playing. Alright, so Welcome to Eador. This is my shard, of which I am quite proud. And as you can see, it is basically a hunk of rock just floating around in the middle of space. And that's what this game is all about. It's about going out and finding various shards and then conquering the provinces on those shards and making them your own. This here is my little hero guy. And this here is my castle. Now, I just started the game. This over here was a little tutorial level, and after you get over here, you can get on a boat and come over here and then begin playing the game. But you kind of have to go through this little thing where it explains, who you are and where you came from, and about the mage who comes and finds you. Here, I'm going to go and take you into a castle, or my castle, so that you can see what is there. So in order to do that, what I do is I click on my hero, and then I click where I want my hero to go, and then I have to end my turn. When you click on end turn, your hero will then go there. Now once there, you can do a lot of different things. So let's go through the menu bar here at the bottom. First of all, we can focus in on the castle, okay? And these are the little houses. This is obviously my castle up here. And then some of these buildings actually correspond to buildings that I have built that serve some sort of function. So down here, when you go into construction, you can actually select various buildings and then construct them. Construction requires one turn, so you can only build one building per turn. So I would say construct, I would click on that and then click the end turn button, and that would construct that building. Now your hero can actually move while you're constructing, so the buildings that are being constructed and your hero's movements are two completely different things. There are various types of buildings. Craftsmen are people who make weapons and things like that. Temples manage the happiness of your citizens. Military is obviously for raising men. Trade is for buying and selling goods. Magic is for learning and then refining your magic skills. And then entertainment is another option that will help make your people happier. Over here is, this next one is the heroes menu. There is an opportunity later in the game to recruit other heroes. And then you will have the opportunity to switch between them and alter, their, move them around and have them do various things. Each of the heroes can operate independently, or they can all come together if you need to drive into a particularly difficult province and take it over. Magic allows you to manipulate your various magic things. Now, each of these squares is allowed to be used one time in battle. Very early in the game, I found that it was a good thing to have Magic Arrow in here twice, so that I could use it twice while in battle, because Magic Arrow guarantees you exactly 8 points of damage, so having two of them was very convenient for me. But each one of these squares can only be used one time. Here is what is essentially the inventory. What's that? Okay. Next up is garrison. These are the people who are in my party. You can see it says Heroes Army. At any time, I can move one of them by clicking on him and then taking him over here. And this is now the garrison that will protect my castle should it be attacked by a group of people, or if there was some sort of uprising or whatever. However, I want to keep them with, because we're going to be going into battle and I want all 6 of them. And later on, I'll be buying some more people, so then they'll fill in this spot. Next hero, which is also the end button, will allow you to simply flip from hero to hero, and it will be a lot easier than going into your hero menu. However, and also while you are in battle, will allow you to switch between each of these guys. Statistics gives you a brief readout of various things, including how many guards you have, etc., etc. I'll leave that to you to explore. Down here is a list of provinces. Now, remember earlier the subdivision of the shard, each subdivision is called a province. When you enter a province, you will explore a certain amount of it. If you continue to stay on that province and continue to explore, you will find bigger, better things, and as a result, this exploration level will go up. each province has its own amazing things, has its own resources, and controlling them is important. This also lets you know what type of creature lives in that area. In this case, this is mostly humans. I also have a lizardmen section that I was able to take over from them. And this also lets you know how grumpy they are. So if you have to roll back down there and put them back in line, you can do that. If I hit escape, I can get out of that. Settings is the menu at the beginning. I don't need to show you that because we've already been through it. And menu is just the menu that brings up to save your game or quit. Alright, so we're finished with all that. Now I'm going to come over, I guess, here. Oh, no, you know what? I'm going to come down here and take over this last province. So let me move down to here. Now I'll end my turn. So the next bit is going to be combat. Once again, I'm going to move down here. And now that I'm here, this brings up what I'm going to call the introduction screen. Sometimes you have the opportunity to negotiate. Usually that's with humans and other creatures that speak English. In this case, these are lizard men who do not speak English and have no interest in negotiating with you, so your choice is attack them or to leave. Up here, you are given an explanation of what your odds are, more or less, of winning this battle. So this is a fairly good, and I'm saying fairly good because there are times, I mean, there was 1 or 2 times where it said the enemy stood no chance, and he was able to kill a couple of my guys. So it's a very rough estimate of the force in question. I'm going to attack these guys. The lizard men do not actually stand a chance. So he has actually deployed first. Normally what happens is there is something called initiative. All right. And as you play and do various battles, your initiative level will climb higher and higher. Whoever has the highest initiative will plop down their troops first and have first move. The person who has the lower initiative, they will plop down their troops second and then have to respond. If the initiatives are tied, whoever is doing the attacking, they will go first. Now, obviously, these guys are all the same. You can right-click on any one of them, and it will tell you what their movement speed is. Unfortunately, these guys are a movement speed of 2, so I am going to probably take some serious damage on this. It also gives you some other information about, their attack and range and things like that, and plus also any special powers that they have. Now, these are my guys. My first thing is to actually deploy my troops, which I have not done yet. This is a slinger, and I'm going to put him on top of this hill. The reason is it gives him a little bit of extra range, so he might be able to actually hit some of these guys down here. The militiaman, I want up front. And his buddy can also... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I can't do that. Militiaman. This is my healer. I have been playing for a little bit, so I now am able to draft healers into my army. And I'm going to move my hero up 1. And try and get this slinger as close as possible. And that will be what I go with, yes. So we click on troop deployment. He gets first move, so he's going to move everybody up, which is a big, big, big problem. Now down here, you have a couple different options. You can rest. Resting is if you don't move anyone at all. You can click on rest and spend a turn just rehabilitating everybody's stamina, which is this yellow bar here. Stamina is about how fatigued you are. So as each of these guys participates in some form of combat, we will have to watch their stamina level to make sure that they can continue to do the amount of damage that they can do at the beginning. Casting spells will bring up your spell menu. And obviously, Magic Arrow, I pointed out earlier. I also have Raise Skeleton, which means that if I kill somebody, I can bring them back. This is to cure wounds, although now that I have a healer, I don't really need to do that, per se. And Magic Spark, which is another damage. What do I have here? Oh, change weapon is, let's say that you had forgotten to repair your weapons back in the inventory screen. You can actually break your weapon during the course of battle. If you do break your weapon and you have another one in your inventory, you can click here on change weapon and it will switch it out for you. Now, depending upon your level, that may actually cost you a turn. So you do not want to be going around breaking your weapons if you can prevent that at all. And this final one is next unit. That corresponds to the N key. Whenever I hit N, any unit that has not gone yet will be next in line. If all the units have gone, N doesn't work at all. Now, at this point, I have no choice but to attempt to clog this up. As you can see, this is a swamp, so if I can get them in there, I can slow them down for a little bit. But I can't really depend on that. And this is an impassable obstacle. Mountains and ponds are unable to... You can't walk on them. Now, there is a caveat to that. Flying creatures can, of course, fly across them. So that's kind of tricky when later on you get imps and things like that. You know, they'll be passing over without any sort of problem. Move him up here. And then I'm going to move this guy up one. And I'm going to move this guy up one as well. And that should solidify this wall. Now, the situation here is that when you are attacked, you have an opportunity to strike back. Okay? So, right here, I don't want to attack these guys because then they'll be able to hit me and weaken me. Then they'll have a strike. And at that point, they will have a great opportunity to kill me. So I definitely don't want to do that. I'm going to move my hero up one, and I'm going to try to... take out this guy up top here. And I did. I was able to kill him. That was incredibly lucky. Next up, I think I have enough range. I could do either these two guys or these guys down here. I might actually try to focus on these guys just to wound them a little bit more. I'll hit him. And my healer, I have a feeling that down here is going to be where I need to be, so I'll leave him there. If I hit N, everybody's gone. This is the part that would auto level, by the way. It would auto end the turn if I had that option checkmarked, but I don't, so I'm going to click down here. I can also press the E key in order to accomplish that. There's me doing a counter strike, and I'm going to let my hero absorb some of the damage. You cannot use a ranged attack against an enemy who is standing right next to you. So that is going to be a problem. I need to find a way to attack this guy with my bow in order to save my slinger. So I'm actually going to step up onto this hill, turn around, and shoot him. I was hoping that would do a complete kill, but that's not going to work out. Also, being on top of the hill allows me to protect myself significantly. Now, my slinger will be able to kill this guy. I'm hoping that this dragon doesn't come down here to get me, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Again, it's not going to be a ranged attack, so I just have to hope that I get him, and I do. So he can't do a counterattack because he's dead. I'm going to use my healer to heal this guy. Healing has to be done right next to the guy. Like, you can't be standing over here and heal him two hexes away. You got to be right next to him. Alright, so here at this point, I have no choice. I have to rush and get up there if I'm to save all these guys. So I'm going to hit him. He does 5 damage in return to me, so that's bad. And this guy is already at 8, so I'm going to wait on that. I can do a ranged attack with my slinger. And that did nothing. So I am in serious, serious trouble here. And I have this 8-point guy who... I got no chance for either of these, so I guess I will have to... I'm going to come in here at this odd angle, though. I'm going to move up one and then hit him from behind. Now, he was able to do 7 damage on me. and I can't move through the trees. I think this is a forest. Oh, that's a swamp. That's even worse. So I'm in serious, serious trouble here. Alright, we're going to give it a shot. He was able to kill me. And he was able to kill that guy too, so I'm just dead. All these guys are done. I mean, I'll win the battle because my guy, you know, he'll just wipe them all out. Let me save this guy first. Because I may be able to sling down here and attack him. That might be enough. No, not even close. I'm playing on max difficulty, so this is not a cakewalk by any stretch of the imagination. I'm going to come back here and ingratiate myself into the swamp, which actually is a bad thing to do. In retrospect, I should not have done that because the swamp is going to kill off my counterattack. I'm in serious trouble here. Alright, so he got into my healer. That's fine. And this guy took out my last slinger. I gotta get him for 11 or 10 or whatever. Hopefully, I might be able to do enough damage. I got him. Okay. And this guy, he's stuck in the swamp, so I gotta get him out and over to here. And that'll be that. And that'll be the end of my healer. So all my guys got wiped out, which is incredibly unfortunate, but, you know, it's how it works in this game. But the good thing is, I was able to save one guy. These are all of my guys who died, obviously. And luckily for me, they're all 1s and 0s in terms of levels. So I didn't lose too much. I can just simply buy new guys. I'm at level 6, and this level 3 guy, he made it through the war, so we're good. All of these guys were incredibly powerful. So as you can see, he was all like, at the beginning he was like, you know, oh, we'll just roll right over them. No, you're not going to roll right over them. Not on difficult. Gold looted 50. I got that off of the bodies, and then sometimes they give you a little bit extra at the end. In this case, they did not. So now I'm here. I now own all of these provinces on this shard, I think except for one up top here. Oh no, I'm sorry, I got a couple more. But the object of the game is to bring the entire shard under your control and then to keep upgrading and changing the castle and the people who are in it, in your army, in order to, you know, become as powerful as is possible. I think that this is a really well thought out and well designed simulation game, and I'm having a blast with it. I plan to do a couple more videos to talk about some of the higher end strategy stuff that is involved in this game, and I hope you'll tune in for that, and I hope you'll consider getting this. You can pick it up on Steam or GOG.com, and it's out there right now. Well, that's it for this edition of Never Played. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button below or subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. I'm Angelic Mayhem, and I'll see you next time.